fooling around without real organizational change. Lots of organizations do this. Lots of them. And it's very sad because most agile adoptions are driven from the bottom up. And the people who drives it are the people who feel the real pain. That's why they're willing to change. And we make the necessary changes and the value is there. And then nobody wants to take it and turn it into organizational value. It's very sad. It's very sad. How many opportunities are businesses missing out on because of this? And then you start seeing stuff like this. Anybody heard about the term wet agile? You know, waterfall on a board. Now, we do agile here. We do. Hey, live in agile practices. We're good at it. Right? But we still have a massive project initiation phase. We do massive project planning. We go through the requirements definition phase. Right up to the point where we actually create this massive Gantt chart. And it looks good. If you print it in color, it's fantastic. And then all we do is, we just take the Gantt chart, divide it up into 2-week chunks, and we put it on a board. Yeah? And that's why you get these boards Karen was talking about. You get them. So let's do development, and then we do testing, and then we do this, and then we do that. Because it's just wet agile. It's still raining on top of these people. But they're doing agile. Somebody is checking a checkbox somewhere that, yes, my KPI state, I had to implement agile this year, so I did that. Right. But what the heck it means for the rest of the organization, nobody knows. We still work in big batches, but we try to work in small iterations. Fantastic. Well done. And that's one of the biggest reasons we specialize and we try and target that market. Because that's a big problem, specifically in South Africa. I have no idea how it works overseas. So, what you need to also understand is, once you're going agile, is that you need to ease up on the management of it. Okay? So let's create cross-functional, self-organized, decentralized teams. And then we manage the crap out of it. I'll tell you who's going to be in which team. Because I'm the manager. I don't like it because you always wear blue. I totally missed the point. We manage agile adoptions. I hate the word agile implementation because you can't implement agile. You can't implement a mindset. You adopt a mindset. Okay. You implement a process. You can't implement it. But we manage agile adoptions like it's a new PMO KPI. Right? Ease up on the management. Where's the knowledge? In the management or in the people doing the work? Where's the knowledge? In the people doing the work. When we were building cars and we had idiots as a population who can only work with their hands, that knowledge was in the management. Today the knowledge are in the people. They know better than you how to do their jobs. So stop telling them how to do their jobs. Coordinate the actions. You know, let's go agile. But I'm not sure if I can tell you that I failed. I can't, every time we go to and say, you know what, we actually did this iteration, we actually experimented very fast, and now we understand that we actually cannot do this. What do you do? Well, failure is not an option. Make it work. Yeah, but I found out through the iterations that we spent 40 minutes each time in the build per developer sitting and waiting for the build to occur. And therefore we just need 1 gig of RAM per developer more, and then we can cut 40 minutes for every build. Well, a good craftsman never likes to. Right? Fantastic. You have to create a safe environment for people to be agile in. Because agile is rapid experimentation towards a commonly shared goal, isn't it? It's rapid experimentation towards a commonly shared goal. If it's about innovation, can you innovate without failure? Well, some organizations think you can. Because they even have programs called zero risk. Right? So we're not going to take a risk, but we want our customers to actually buy from us. We want to innovate, but we're not taking risks. You hear this a lot. And it's like when you go to Edison, you say to him, I hear you're going to invent this light bulb thing. Can you give me a 3-month project plan? I'm willing to invest, but I need to know exactly how you're going to invent it. But Edison going to tell you. Are you nuts? I can't give you that. I can't look like that because I'm busy innovating. So, but what are you going to do tomorrow? Well, that depends what happens today. Isn't that the whole idea about iterations? So what's going to happen in iteration 3? Well, I roughly think we're going to tackle the registration of the shopping cart there. Are you sure? No. Oh, that can't be. You must be sure. Yeah, but if you want me to be sure, I will be sure, but then I have to spend a huge amount of time assuming I'm sure. So what are you going to do in iteration 3? Well, roughly I think we're going to tackle the registration. And when will you be sure? Well, in iteration 2. Why? Because then I'll know. Before I've done something, I can't tell you. The only way to know how you can do something is to actually go and do it, right? Isn't it? Cool. If you want people to be 100% correct, they'll be 100% correct. If a customer asks you, I need to know exactly how much they're going to cost. Well, then you're going to force them like Ed said. 10 million rand. Now, how do you get to that? I'll give you a Gantt chart proving it. Okay. Well, maybe you can say it will cost between 4 and 6 million. Yeah, but I want it for 4 million. Okay, but then you have to work this way. No, I'm going to work that way. Okay, then 6 million. But maybe it can be 4. But worst case, it will be 6. But that depends how closely you work together with me to understand exactly what you want. Isn't it? That's how it works. Create a safe environment for people to experiment. Retrospectives. Retrospectives, right. That one meeting where we actually have to sit down and say, what can we improve, right? Why do many organizations why don't they do retrospectives? Because people don't feel safe to actually talk about what they can improve. Because that means they have to admit what they did wrong. And that means that goes against the KPI, which means they don't get a bonus. Isn't it? You have to change a lot in your organization. Going Agile means you have to change everything in your organization. The way you pay people, the way you actually reward people, the way you monitor people. If you still track people by how many hours they work per day, you have to go here. You need a Gantt chart. What the hell does 8 hours of work have anything to do with productivity? By the way. Parkinson's law, right? Syndrome. Any task will expand to fill the time provided. Give me 5 hours to do something, I'll take 5 hours to do something. How long does any task take to complete? As long as it takes to complete, while adhering to the acceptance criteria and definition of done. But if you give me 5 hours, I'll use 5 hours. But it might have been 2. If we didn't have to assign that to it. And here's one of the big things, right? Let's go Agile, fantastic, adrenaline rush. It's like going for a haircut, yeah? You feel better. You know, we put on boards, we use sticky notes, you know, you appoint scrum masters, stuff like that. It's great. It's so different, it's beautiful. Because it's literally the opposite of what we were. And now we work on sticky notes and boards, and we have things called daily stand-ups, and then we get sucked back into the organizational pool. So I'm glad you guys feel better and you work a bit faster and you do Scrum, but where's my spec? Right? Been there. Who's been there? Yeah, we work really hard, you know. It's like coming back from a holiday. You feel better. You actually make these vows. This year my desk is going to be clean. 3 days, you know, 6th January, your desk is a mess again, right? Whenever we feel tired, we go for a haircut, you feel better. But guess what? Your hair grows out. Some of us don't, but that's a win-win situation. Right. Organizational gravity pull. We'll allow you to do certain things. We'll go Agile. But once we start with the Agile journey, this can't be Agile. No, you're missing the point. We still have to write massive specs up front. We like the term Agile, we like what Agile says, but we don't like what Agile means for us as an organization. We don't like the fact that we actually have dedicated teams and don't do resource scheduling anything. We don't like the fact that Agile say work on one project before you start another one. No, you can't do that. We like what Agile is on paper. We don't like what it means. And then we'll shut you down because I'm about to be above you. So keep doing your sticky note stuff, but nothing else. Nothing else. That's okay. We'll allow you to do that. So organizations invest a huge amount of money, time, and emotions into going Agile on a certain level, and then they don't want to actually give the rewards from it. No, that's pretty stupid. Plain stupid. And then one of the biggest things we find is management do not know when to shut up. It's true. I'll tell you how to implement Agile. I'll tell you what to change. The whole idea of mapping your value chain or to see flow in order to identify waste and find ways to remove it, no, that's all. I know exactly what's wrong. Maybe management need to actually ease up and shut up and start to listen. Start to listen. That's why we need to do retrospectives. That's why we sit down and understand where we failed in order to improve from it. Oh, I could have told you that stuff years ago. Well, why didn't you? That means you failed as a manager. You failed as a manager.